Did you miss me, folks? We are back for Chilling3000 Hangouts, episode 117 on this 24th of November 2023. Hope everybody's having a great Friday night. I know it's been a while. It's been almost a month since we've done our last episode. That's because I was taking a break, focusing on some other things, doing some other games or tapings, and just taking time to myself because we're almost there to the holiday season. But we are back and we're going to get started with the Thanksgiving Black Friday Feast episode here. I want to welcome William in live chat. Hope you can stick around with us for the next hour, 2 hours or so, because you have a great episode for you guys tonight. We have two interviews for tonight, starting with Harvey Hailstone, who is from the UK. That interview I did with him that I taped this past Wednesday afternoon, and Jason DeCanio will be joining us live here later on in the program in about a half an hour or so. Um, and we also have Godfather Dominic and Daniel Lewis, Games of Fan 01. So, hope you guys are. Hope you like my new studio, by the way. No, it's not a new studio. It's just a little my green. It's my green screen. So, I wish I kind of actually had a real studio like this, but maybe 2034 or 2031. What's it? Oh, 2031. The quiet producers are confusing me. All right, without further ado, can't even speak. Let's begin right now, and let me get started with the interview here right now. All right, everybody, I'm David here, and it's now time for our next interview here with Harvey Hailstone. How are you doing, Harvey, here today?
I'm doing good, and thanks for having me on here.
You're welcome. It's nice to have you here on today's program. As well as I actually done an interview myself here. Um, so, what would you like to tell us about yourself and how did YouTube start for you?
Basically, how YouTube started for me, it was actually started with 2016. Like you thought, like I started with 2022 with my first video, but it actually started with 2016. And what I did then was I made like plush videos. Yes, I was one of those people. I made
Uh,
plush videos, and the reason why they're not on there anymore is because I found them so embarrassing that I just
yeah.
couldn't keep them on there. And basically, like 2019 to 2020, I ended up doing video game reviews and top tens, and like, oh, sorry. But anyway,
Okay. Is that
I
only wanted to explain about YouTube because I'm like, what made you decide to when you make gameplay videos back in 2019, 2020, what made you stop for a while and decided to get back in 2022?
alright. With 2019, I wanted to do like video game content because I love video games and that's what I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do. I've done videos on like Mario, Sonic, Mega Man, and even Super Monkey Ball, and
Okay.
I really had fun with it. And by like middle 2020, like August, September, I decided that I wasn't really happy with it. I was like, I'm not sure if I actually really want to do this. So
Okay.
I so I took a break. Well, I quit for like a year, well, 2 years, and
Uh,
I didn't come back until 2022. And even during 2022, I was debating, should I come back to YouTube or not? I don't know. But then I finally decided that I did, and yeah, I'm now doing YouTube, although I don't really upload as much, but yeah,
yeah,
I'm now here on YouTube.
very cool. And if I may ask, how old are you right now?
I am 18 years old. A
Hey,
lot of people,
huh?
a lot of people think I'm like in my early 20s, and honestly, I wouldn't really blame them because there are some photos of me that I'm like, wow, I look older than I am. So yeah, that's how old
Yeah,
I am, 18.
yeah. People guess your age on how you look because people sometimes joke that I still think in my tens, but the thing is that I still look young because I try to save when I can because I don't really like the face right, but that's just my opinion. But you're 18 now. You still going to school as you speak for high school?
Yeah, I'm currently in college and
Oh, oh, okay.
I'm actually doing an internship, which is like work experience.
Oh,
I
like
know,
volunteering, that type
yeah,
of. Okay, very cool. Congratulations on your college and what made you want to go to college, if I may ask?
well, basically, after I was like finished school, I wanted to go to college, and because, well, all my friends were there, and plus, I would I would have gotten bored really easily in the house, and I need
Um,
some I need something to like let me basically like learn about adulthood and life and jobs and all that stuff.
yeah, you basically want to be in a comfortable environment and all that good stuff. Um, so my next question is I'm gonna ask questions about U.S. for the U.K. because you live in the U.K. It's evening time over there right now. That's our recording is 3 p.m. Eastern today before Thanksgiving, which I don't know if you celebrate Thanksgiving, but I'm gonna say it's happy holidays to you. Um, but my next question is, what is it like living in the UK?
Life in the UK, it's actually been pretty good. You know, sometimes like the weather is very like say when it's raining, like 1 hour it's raining and then the next hour it isn't. Like the weather's not very consistent here. Oh,
Okay,
and by the way, as for Thanksgiving, we don't celebrate it in this country.
understandable. Um, you still celebrate Christmas. I know that. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah. But what is the difference? You were born in UK. What have you been outside of the UK? Like, have you been to the US before?
I have not been to the US, but I have been to other countries like I'm to Turkey, Spain, Cyprus, Portugal, and Greece.
Okay, great. Have you learned any differences? That's different between UK and the US. Like, have you learned anything about the US that's stood out to you? You're like, oh, that's very interesting on how the US does this that we don't do here in the UK. In your perspective.
Yeah, there are differences between like UK and US. Like the shops are different. Like here, there's no like Walmarts or Targets or Best Buy. Instead, we have like Tesco as the co-ops and
Mm.
stuff like that.
All right, very cool. And as for college, what is college like for you? Of course, you said earlier, as for college, trying to get that experience, volunteer experience. Do you go to college 7 day? I mean, 5 days a week, like we do in the U.S. Or what are the differences like?
Right now, I only go to college on Mondays, and as for like other days, I do like work 4 hours a day.
All right, that's very interesting. I've never heard of people here in the U.S. go to college for only 1 day a week, but hey, that's pretty cool right there. Um, And my next question is, what is your favorite city and food in the UK and why?
Can you say that again? Sorry.
Oh, what is your favorite city and food in the UK and why?
Favorite city?
City and food. It's a two-in-one
Yeah.
question.
For city, I probably would say either London or Brighton.
Oh,
London, wow, London is like one of the most popular places in the world. Like, there's many
everyone.
landmarks you can find, like
Yeah,
Big Ben, London Eye, and many others. And Brighton, I really like the beach at Brighton and like the restaurants and all that.
all right, pretty
And
cool.
as for food, I'm not really too sure about food. Like, it always like changes. Like, one point, like chicken is my favorite food, then chips, then like chocolate is like, it changes all the time when it comes to my favorite food.
Yeah. Um, if you, well, actually never been to the US, so I can't ask that question. But if you'd like to try out, um, I was gonna say if you have any for the US, but I guess I'll change up this question. If you want to have any food that you want to try from the US that you've seen online, what food would that be and why?
Well, I would like to try food from Sonic, which
Oh yeah,
is not like a thing here in the UK. But yeah, Sonic
yeah,
is like
because
the
yes, because you're a big fan of Sonic, and I can understand like the video game character franchise, so I can understand from that view. Um, which speaking of which, is Sonic your main favorite character, or do you have favorite other favorite character in the Sonic series franchise?
as for the Sonic franchise, yeah, Sonic is my number one favorite video game character, probably of all time. And there are other like great Sonic characters like Shadow the Hedgehog, Knuckles the Echidna, and Tails, and many other characters.
If I may ask, how do you get into video games? Because I'm kind of curious how people like you in the UK get into video games.
Basically, it started with Sonic the Hedgehog 1991 for the Sega Genesis, well, Mega Drive for me, and I played it like for like hours, and that really got me into video games. And then I eventually played like other video games like Mario, Mega Man, and even Kirby, all that stuff.
Pretty cool. What about Mario? Have you got into Mario?
Yeah, I have. And I recently played Super Mario Bros. Wonder,
Oh
and
yeah, another
I
one.
am loving it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Have you ever played any of the Mario Kart games?
Yeah, I pretty much played all the mainline games. The only Mario Kart games that I haven't played are like the arcade ones, but they are like kind of spin-offs. But the rest I've played.
Yeah, but speaking of Mario Kart, if I had to pick my favorite Mario Kart game of all time, will be the Wii version. Um, and my next question is, you told me, no, I believe you told me before. I can't recall, but remind me, you like soccer, right? You like to watch soccer, I believe. Um,
Yeah, I do.
which,
And
yeah, continue on.
and if you want to know what football club, well, soccer club that I support, it's Chelsea. Mostly
Okay.
because my dad supports it, and I've always been into Chelsea.
Do you like to play soccer as well, or other sports?
I can't play soccer because, to be honest with you, I am terrible at it. But I do play basketball. You know,
Okay.
that's a lot of fun.
I play soccer for like a few years, but I stopped until like middle school because that's weird. Um, Middle school because it's a time. The game tires you out. I'll say that, and doing it every
Yeah,
Saturday, every weekend. That especially in the fall season when the weather changes, and at least here in my area, is not the prettiest, but so that's why I stopped playing it. But
yeah.
um, uh, other questions here. What is um? Okay, I'll ask this one. How did you? Now you're part of the network community group, which supports both of us. How did you discover
Basically, you know who Jay Vados is, right?
it? Trade Vaders, yes.
Yeah, he did a live stream with Austin Putnam, and which was like August 2021. And then after that, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go check out Austin's channel. And the first review I saw of his was Old, the M. Night Shyamalan movie, which was really terrible.
Mm.
And yeah, I watched his content, and I didn't discover Both Us on the Sofas until like late December 2021. And
Okay.
I watched them, like the first one I watched was, I think it was episode 177, 78. I don't remember exactly which one, but it was definitely one of those two. And
Oh,
I was like, oh, the, these guys are kind of funny.
oh yeah.
So I I watched them. I didn't appear in like the live chats because that was like before I showed up in live chats. And the first video that you guys found me was like on A Pizzle 90's channel when he did the Q&A in 2022. And as
Oh,
for the
okay.
first,
Okay.
yeah,
That's when you
as for the
discovered me.
yeah, and as for the first Both Us on the Sofas I appeared in, it was 186.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I met majority of those great folks besides seeing, but I've had most of them on my program here. I interviewed Alex and Alex actually on episode 100. And I had those folks from time to time, and they're great people. The door's always looking for them to join the program with us if they want to need a distraction or whatever the case is. Um, Now, also in the UK, soccer is very popular, but the other thing in the US that is also in the UK is game shows in the UK, like Deal or No Deal, which is the main show I can think of that's over there. I guess
Yeah.
Price is Right too. Um, have you watched any of those game shows, and are you a fan of those game shows?
I don't really watch a lot of game shows. I've seen like bits of it, but I don't really watch a lot of it. Like I've watched Deal or No Deal and Who
Yeah.
Wants to Be a Millionaire. Like I've seen those and a few other ones, but I can't really remember which ones they were.
All right, pretty cool. So you're not really a fan of them, but you've seen bits and pieces.
Yeah,
Understood. Um, Now my next question is um back to video games here. Um, what is your favorite video game of all time if you had to pick one?
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 easily. Like every level in that game is great. The music's great. The gameplay is fantastic. The physics are fantastic. Everything about that game is fantastic, and I love it.
All right, pretty cool. And so what is coming up on your YouTube channel, like going into 2024? You haven't posted in, if I take a look on your channel right now, which I
5
realized like
months.
seven, 5 months, yeah. Which I actually just subscribed to it today. I thought I already subscribed to it, but I just subscribed to it today while I was checking. Um, 5 months, 5 months ago. Are you planning to do some more content, like doing those movie or gameplay reviews? Are you planning to get back into those in 2024?
Yeah, I would like to eventually get back to it. The reason why I haven't been uploading is because, well, college and many other things. Like, I've been on like trips to like Wales, London, and Greece, which, by the way, to all those people that are watching this, we were originally going to do it in September, but then I ended up going to Greece.
Okay.
And yeah,
So basically, that is something that you want to do. During those YouTube videos, you mostly want to do them in the summer when you're not in college, right?
yeah,
Okay, so summer, it's a seasonal thing for you to do those videos, which is completely understandable. Um, do you want to do like a podcast like in the near future? Like if it's about your favorite video games or movies, or you want to try out podcasts yourself, or just stick to those videos?
I would like to eventually do a podcast, not like in the next year or two, but maybe like in a few
Yeah,
years, I would like to try and do a podcast.
yeah, because you're still young, you're in college. Like maybe once you're done with college, you could consider doing or already consider doing a podcast, but you're still young. That's why took a break from YouTube. Once back in those years since 2016, you took a break from YouTube a lot, and I can understand you're still young. You're you know getting close to my age. I know how it feels. To start YouTube at 15, but I still worked my way up with progress, and I'm up to 1,000 subscribers now. But my views aren't going so well. But uh, the thing is, I'm still gonna keep trying, and that is my advice to you: just keep on trying. Keep spreading the word of your channel, and eventually you're gonna get there on your YouTube channel. If you want to make this part of your hobbies, stick to that plan and go forward. That's my advice for you. Um, and as for um, your future here, what do you want to do when you grow up? What is your main goal? What is your main goal in life of what you want to do when you grow up?
My main goal, well, currently right now, I would like to try and work at like a shop, like beyond like the tills. But as for like what I want to do in like 10 years, I'm actually not sure. Like, I'm not sure whether or not I would get a bigger job or like,
You don't have a main set goal in place. You just want to go with the flow.
yeah, like I want to like focus on what I'm currently doing right now rather than like planning ahead in like 5 years ahead.
All right, pretty cool. Um, is there anything that you have accomplished in your life up to this point in the present time that you know what is something you accomplished that you're proud of?
Um, oh, I need to think.
It could be something big or something simple, if that makes it any difference.
hmm, I have like accomplish on like going outside more, because like
Okay.
3 years ago I normally like stayed in like all the time, but now I always like to like go outside and do stuff that I haven't done. That would be like my biggest accomplishment right now.
All right, pretty cool. I get that. I mean, I'm I am kind of the same boat as somewhat you were, but once the weather gets warmer, I'll try to get more outside and warm because you need that fresh air, and that's very healthy for you, and I feel it'll work very well for you.
Yeah.
Um, and my last question is, I know you don't, I know you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but I may ask this, anyway because it's a very important question in life, even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving or not. What are you thankful for in life?
I am thankful for like my family, because like they raised me and they made me like who I am, and I'm also thankful for like all my friends, like you guys and my personal friends, because like they're always great to like have a laugh with, and they're great to like spend time together.
Awesome. Well, is there anything you want to promote here before we close this half-hour interview out? Is there anything you'd like to promote?
Yeah. Now I'm not sure when I'll actually like release these, but I've got my Scream 1996 review, movie review, and my Super Mario Galaxy video game review, and I've also got another video which isn't like movie or video game related. I won't say what it is right now, but let's just say it's gonna be something different.
All right, very interesting. Any social media platforms people can follow you on?
Yeah, I have Facebook, Instagram, and that's it. Facebook and Instagram.
You don't have. I have Discord, but
Oh yeah, Discord.
uh, yeah, those three. Keep it simple. I like that. It's a pleasure to have you here on this interview here on 3000 Hangouts. I've been looking for some folks for quite a while now. Well, not the main reason why I was taking the break. The reason why I took a break is because I was focused on other things. But I'm glad I was able to find uh, someone here, and thank you for doing this here, Harvey. And we'll come to a close here. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
All right, I am here with Jason DeCanio. How are you doing, Jason?
What's up? How we doing? Happy Black Friday to everybody, and hope you had a safe one as well. What's going on, boss?
Doing
You
well,
doing all right?
and our layout is black, and I'm wearing a black shirt, so it's kind of fitting for
Oh,
today.
I like the background, man. Looks like you're in one of
Yeah.
those futuristic escape rooms, that you can't get out of for like an hour. I
Oh
don't know.
yeah, something Aaron Rodgers did, I guess.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's true.
We
I
have
watched
our.
back actually, so
I see we have our group of people out there. We have William the Conqueror that's in here, and Jose, and
mm-hmm.
Show Fan 2001, and the Godfather. Hey, happy
Yep.
Thanksgiving and Black Friday to all of you.
Yep, and once again, thanks to Harvey for doing this half-hour interview that I taped Wednesday because, like I.
Oh, Christ. I don't even know why they even put him on Black Friday. And we talked about that on Let's Talk Football a couple of days ago, that this was a wasted game. And we all know it. We all predicted that the Colts were going to have their butts handed to them. Everybody could agree on that one. I don't even know why they had a Black Friday game. So yeah,
it's for the money. It's for the money.
But you know what? As bad as the Jets are playing this year, and all the hype that we were supposed to be looking forward to, Not really. It got so bad. Yep.
Oh, their email, by the way, Mr. Beauregard, in the chat with us. So yeah, I taped the interview with Harvey Meister because he's in the UK. So I had with the time difference, we had to tape it that way. So I are wearing a jacket. I believe he's talking to you, Jason.
Oh, I'm wearing a jacket. No, this is a hoodie. It's a hoodie with short sleeves. Actually, looks like a jacket, but no, it's not. It's just one of those. I can wear these anytime, pretty much. I don't have any other shirts that I want to put on right now because I'm not hosting DMS right now, and so at that point, I just finished getting a nice shower and got to get back to work tomorrow. And
do you have like a suit with a tie? You have one of those?
Do I own a suit and tie? Yes, I do. Do they still fit me? I would have to try and see if they would fit me. I think I still have one that's like a size 50 that would fit perfectly.
I don't know if I don't have those, but you could try it for a DMS 3005.
Oh, the shirts I try to wear some nice shirts for you guys. Try to mix it up every day. So that's one of the things that I'm hoping for. Now look at this. We got five viewers on this live stream. I can't even get 5 on my show. Where you guys are like at 4:00 in the afternoon, huh?
Working. It's called working.
I guess so. But you could always podcast this in your car and everything from 4 to 5:30.
Well, what if they're working at a restaurant or they're working at a post office or working at a amusement park or something? I don't know.
I don't know. But anyways, it's nice to have everybody on here today. So this is also kind of like a not just an interview about me, but also about the channel itself too, because I know you've got some questions that you'd like to throw in my direction and give you opinions on it.
Yeah. But before we get into that, I will say I have a little update. The Popcorn Pan podcast will not be this Tuesday. Since Victor, you're here in the not chat, I'll just say on here. The Popcorn Pan podcast and the scheduling things will not be on this Tuesday. So I just want to give everybody a heads up. And I told it's not 100% confirmed that I told Victor with that taking up Tuesday off, maybe we can do something about that meeting that you want to do. But then again, it depends on other people's schedule as well.
Yeah.
Perhaps I should bring a charger just so I can charge my phone and watch at 4 p.m.
Whatever you got to do, my friend. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Why not, right?
Yeah. There's something that can help you pace your email.
There you go.
But unfortunately, the podcast app doesn't have like a live stream feature where you can just do the show on for audio only people. You can't do that live, unfortunately. You have to do it on YouTube only for that.
Yeah.
But anyway, how did you get started into the podcasting on your end, Jason?
Well, it all goes back 14 years pretty much now. This year so marks 14 years in the podcasting business or the history of it. I just had my computer one day, I was scrolling and I was like, okay, I want to do a show. I want to, I see the DJs all playing music and I'm thinking, man, I'd love to do that. And I was trying to find a way to do it, to get the headsets and the podcasting equipment and all of that. And I went in with my friend in 2009 and I said, look, I want to do a podcast show, very little audience, small following, so that I'm not really recognized as much. But the thing is that, you're always subject to copyright. So you have to kind of work around those things. And the way we did it was we took MP3s of the songs at that time and played them through. We recorded them on like Audacity or some other kind of recorder before I even knew what Audacity was. I was doing streaming recordings, but the audio was so terrible. Plus, I also had a mixer that was, for its time, was good, but over time, mixers will wear down just like a car, and they'll.
Did you have it on Windows XP or Windows 7?
I had Windows 7. My friend
Okay.
installed Windows 7, so I had the updated version. Never got anything higher than 8, 9, or 10 because 10 was just not great for what we were trying to do. Windows was 7 was like the best, easy to follow. But I always had all of the updated Windows even before my podcast show. I always had updated stuff. When my friend built me this computer that I have now, the computer that's like 10 plus years old, in its prime, this thing was super fast, had all the latest updates on it, never crashed, and basically did what it has to do. And it's still going. I make things last, and my friend, like I said,
Yeah.
he built it to where it'll just continually update itself to where it may need a tune-up, it may need a new hard drive or something of that sort. Hasn't been the last couple of weeks, so I really did cross my fingers. But I guess maybe that week that I took off really did help because I didn't turn the computer on for a whole week. Maybe that helped.
Yeah.
The computer rest. Sometimes you just have to walk. David. Sometimes you just have to walk away from the computer because you're so exposed to it that your body just says,
Yeah.
I don't want to go on it. And I look terrible that week. I feel better now, but I just was not myself. I can tell you that, and I think they can vouch when you're on webcam or you're doing a podcast. You really got to feel it. You got to really be in the mood for it. So back in the days when I was doing the radio program or the Jason DeCanio show that ran for 7 seasons, I was doing audio on it only because I didn't like being in front of the camera. I didn't like being on the camera. I thought it just, but now that I'm doing these live programs now today, I can honestly say I'm much more relaxed. But back then I was nervous wreck. Then I tried some webcam sessions, but they just didn't work. Either they had audio problems or video problems or trolling problems where whoever was in the chat at that particular time,
which we won't get into.
No, but I'm just saying there was always some kind of a technical problem, whether it was audio, video, or whoever was in there watching and whoever was coming in at the said time. So chat sessions, live sessions were very difficult, and I stopped them for a while, and that kind of eased off a little bit. But now that I'm with you guys on the network, it's much more comfortable, and because I know our security is a little more secure. We're a little more protected, and we're reaching out to our audience, yes, but we're not reaching beyond that to where we're not going to get haters. And if we do, what is that?
No, I'm just trying to find something for emo. He said bring a charger, bring a portable charger.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. So you could do that, or your car charger. If you have it for your car, you can charge it, your phone in the car. Just make sure your battery doesn't get, too.
Yeah, while I work for it, tell us how the Jason DeCanio so started. Why did you came up with?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get my question?
He said, "Sorry,
did
what?"
You get my question? Did you get my question, Jason? Of what I just asked you
about what?
How did your Jason DeCanio so started?
It started right there in 2009. Basically, I had named the show after me because of the fact that I couldn't think of any kind of title to think about on the show. But I thought at one time I wanted to do a show called Killer Tracks, but I found out that name was taken, so I couldn't use that name. Although that would have been a great show called the Killer Tracks Radio Show. That would have been fantastic. But the people who already had that site said, no, you can't use the name. You would have to get permission. And I'm like, no. All right. So I reciprocated and just named the show after. And it ran, like I said, it ran for 7 seasons, 453 episodes. And I think around February, March was the last month I did that in 2015. Yeah. Because by then I had already...
And emo, this is what I'm talking about. What I was trying to say. Portable charger. This is what it looks like right here. Just got your charger cord, plug it in, use your phone on the go. So I would suggest this if you wanna. Or you get one of these phone charger cases. Just simply
Oh, he says he
and,
doesn't
and it's
drive.
charging,
Okay.
and it basically charges like that.
Yeah.
If you need extra battery, get a phone charger case.
Mhm.
So you can either get a portable charger or get a charger phone case if you need extra battery. So while you're at work, you need something to watch or listen to email at work, then just do that. And you could possibly use this to charge your headphones as well. But anyway, so you did the Jason DeCanio show for that seven seasons,
7 seasons
right?
from 2009 to
Yeah.
2015. Yep. Took it to 7 seasons, and after 453 episodes, decided to hang it up because I could have went to 500 if I really wanted to, but a lot of things were just coming up that I needed to get taken care of. So after 7 seasons, it was a good run, but all those shows gone. Could never
Yeah.
find them. Had deleted them, and they're in the,
Well,
in
there's
the world.
one of them from 2011 that are in 2 parts. Explain. Mhm.
Oh, that's from Mr. Instrumentalist's interview. Yes, he saved his interview, which was part of the 2011 season. Yeah, that and that show that showed you the setup of the way the studio was a long time ago. I had stuff over here, and I was more towards the back wall. I had a fantastic setup. It was great. The desk
Mhm.
was in the middle of the room, and
Yeah.
I had Mr. Instrumentalist down here for a couple of days. He spent actually, I think, 4 days here, and we were really good friends. And that's how his song "She's My Pumpkin Pie" became the title song of the Queen's New Yorker 4 years later.
Uh,
4 years
okay.
later, in 2015, after doing that project, the Jason DeCanio show, I decided to do the Queen's New Yorker, and that's how it all started. And when Nick found out that I chose that song, he was so happy. I mean, he gave me pretty much the copyright rights to all of his songs to use at any time. He said, if you ever
Mhm.
have any problems, just let me know, and I will write a formal letter to whoever is attacking you at any given time, so that way they can back off because, his songs are
Mhm.
protected. Not just everybody can use his songs. You really, number one, have to be his friend. Number two, if you really want to use his song, he'll let you use your song. Just consent to it. Get his
Yeah.
consent before you do that. And I say that to anyone who wants to use a copyrighted song from anybody they think. Get the person's permission before you do it so you don't run into legal issues. Because
Exactly.
it's not fair to anybody who has made some fantastic music out there. And Nick Jones, over the course of this last I've known him since 2011, so 12 years that I've known him, he has really rose to the occasion. Okay, this man basically has taken himself from a self-proclaimed piano synthesizer composer to what he's doing now in Houston, Texas, basically, which is doing documentaries, attending some fantastic galas and parties, and getting to know a lot of people. And he took his show on the road, basically. But he is still a fantastic composer.
Nice.
And as every once in a while, I will touch base with him, and he's still doing great out there in Houston. I wish he'd come back for a follow-up interview or do one for us now here on DMS. That would be great to see what he's doing the past 12 years and
Mhm.
have a reunion show. Would love to have that set. I can make it happen. I just got to know when he wants to do it. but he's very, very.
Hey, got it. You should ask him.
I've asked him on numerous times. He's just a super busy guy, and you have to really go that far out to really get him. So you got to be patient, but it paid off because that was the greatest interview I had done in my time at that point. David, I think you froze.
Yeah. This is mine.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I
think it's because I'm wearing headphones.
No,
so
okay.
It's okay.
But that was the greatest interview I had done in that time frame not even 2 years in my podcasting career, was with Mr. Instrumentalist, and I will never forget it. It was the first live interview I did face to face. Have him in the studio, come all the way from Florida, come from Texas to go to Florida. They drove, him and his girlfriend, and they enjoyed themselves, and we had a fantastic time. And well, you see the videos out there, and I tell you, like I said, the trolls and the haters, they just went ahead and started attacking, and then they went and said that I stole all of his music and made all this stuff up, and he's like, no, I don't know. He says, first of all, don't give me that crap about stuff like that, and if you don't have the concrete evidence to back it up, then I can't believe you. And I even told Nick, I said, there are going to be people out there that are going to say some very bad things about what we did and about me, and I'm just saying, get ready for World War II, because it's going to happen. And sure enough, he was ready for it, and he told everybody to back off. DeCanio is not doing anything wrong. He's using the music for what's intended to use it for. He's not abusing the copyrights on it. I don't abuse it. And to this day, the Queen's New Yorker in its 9th season has used She's My Pumpkin Pie since 2015. Or 2014. But yeah, 9 seasons already, David. We're picking up the episodes. We're up to 241 right now.
Yeah. That's great. And what made you decide to do that interview with him?
Well, he is like me. I'm a novice piano player. He likes jazz music, and I just went ahead and said, I went on YouTube one day to just look up jazz, piano players that were not part of a group, up and coming, basically. Those are the people who basically want to interview, the ones that are just starting out or already some far into their time, and they want more exposure. And Nick said, well, I need more people to promote me. Well, I have a show. Come on to Florida. Not only will you be on the show, but you and your girlfriend can stay around here for a while and enjoy the nice weather. And we had a great interview, and this was around October, I think around the 18th of October in 2011. And it was just perfect weather, perfect day. And he treated me to a steak dinner. So for all of that, that's just, other than that, he is a fantastic gentleman. His girlfriend was very nice. And at the time I was dating somebody too, so they got to meet my girlfriend. But overall, we had 2 full days of great interviews. And he even worked the Jason DeCanio show by reading some of the News of the Weird we did, because that's how the News of the Weird had carried over to all my other projects that I had done. You muted yourself. There you go.
Oh, sorry. That's great. And did you reach out to him, or did he reach out to you?
I was the first one to reach out to him in comments, and then I looked at his website and emailed him and asked him if he would like to do an interview. And he says, why not just do an interview? Why don't I just come on? And he asked to come on. I said, sure. There's plenty of room in the studio to do it. You're more than welcome to it. I can't have you stay here. You'd have to go for room and board yourself. You'd pretty much have to pay your own way to come in here. But told him where I lived, and well, he put it on his Google Maps, and they were here within 2 days, actually. Yeah.
That's cool. So what made you do the Queen's New Yorker and magazine shows?
Well, I always wanted to do a series on Queens, because I always looked at I used to follow a lot of the Queens people on YouTube, like Roadway Wiz and Action Kid, how they walk around the neighborhoods or they drive around the neighborhoods. But that's all they do, is they don't say anything, but they show you, how far it is from a point A to a point B, or I'm going to drive on the George Washington Bridge from from this side of the bridge on, or take the tunnels, but I always was interested in my New York history, because I haven't been back to New York since 1995. So I miss a lot of those old landmarks and everything So I wanted to do a program that talked about the history of the borough, not just, experience it, but I'd like to get back there when it's a lot safer. Now, I could have went earlier in my time, before all of this violence happened over there. but I just didn't get a chance to get over there. I would have loved to do some shows, interview some people that were, pertaining to the borough, but it just didn't happen. But we've had 9 successful seasons, and I just wanted to do a program that honed in on everything that the borough had to offer. Sure, everybody talks about Manhattan and the 4 boroughs, but we never focus ourselves on Queens. And now here we are, 9 years later. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon for Queens. You type in Queens, New York in the YouTube page. Not only will you find my channel, but you'll find a whole host of other people citing restaurants, giving tours, talking about pizza, the food, the culture, this other thing. And it kind of built off of that. But I've had my set of followers, and I'll tell you, the most followers I ever had on one YouTube was the first channel I had on YouTube. I had over 1,072 subscribers. I was 28 away from 1,100. But of course, like I said before, trolls and haters, they'd shut me down. But I came back and went on to Spotify. And Spotify and Mixcloud is where I was for the longest time. Now I'm coming back on YouTube, hopefully to keep and stay on YouTube for a while, so to promote it and get everybody to, subscribe to the channels, because some of you guys are from New York. I know that, especially you, Vic. You're from New York. You may be from the Bronx, but you're still a New Yorker, and you're still from one of the 5 boroughs.
Yep.
Still talk about the other 4 boroughs. We all mention it somewhere or another in our legacy show of New York, because you run out of Queens people to talk about. And then we had that sister show, The Legacy of Queens, that's now in its 4th season. So in 2019, the sister show of the Queens New Yorker kind of bounced off of there. And now with that show, The Legacy of Queens talks about the people of Queens, those who were born and raised or who worked or who came back and passed away, but still came from another state. And as long as you worked, and look who's here. Jason Kelly is here. Hey.
Yeah.
Boom is the man of the hour. Yes, indeed. Congratulations on 9 years, my friend, by the way. Yes, he had just celebrated 9 years at Raising Cane's. So, yeah, 9th anniversary going on 10 next time. William the Conqueror. Speaking of, put that up, please. Says, I believe I've mentioned this before. I've been in Long Island. Yes, and we'll talk about Long Island too. We've covered a lot of stuff, especially like the beaches. We've covered Jones Beach, Long Island Beach. We've covered the parkways, the expressways that take you to Nassau and Suffolk County. You ought to check those old episodes out, William, if you have not already. I appreciate the support. Thank you very much, William the Conqueror. He's a great guy. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. All 20 of it. Anybody else? I know Victor.
I only been.
Go ahead and repeat what you were going to say.
I would say Garrison Newkirk is from Buffalo. Same with Michael Bombardier, who's also from Buffalo. And as for New York City, I only been there once in my.
Look at that.
Once back in December of last year.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason Kelly. Yes, Sir Jazzy. Yes, I am well respected by that. That's my announcer for Blockbusters, the Queens New Yorker, and a whole host of other things that he has followed me over the last 12 years. Welcome to the Tanner Talks.
Hey, Tanner Talks.
Welcome to the finality of the Thanksgiving Black Friday era. There you go. Welcome aboard, Tanner. Hope you had a safe Thanksgiving.
Hope you're doing well there, Tanner.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Cool. So tell us on how you and Jason Kelly met 10 years ago.
Me and Jason Kelly met via the game show realm. Basically, he was, hanging around there in the game show community because he's a big fan of game shows. And you don't realize it that basically the game show community has grown since the days of Michael Tiller and all those guys who really had taken the pioneers of game show tape trading, and we've evolved into this whole new game show community of not just trading episodes, but doing game shows and still preserving the past 100%. Yep. So that's that's how I. But me and Jason Kelly have not met in person. We've talked like this. We've talked online via video chats. But I'm still trying to get everybody to come out to Florida and meet me. It's like, come on, guys. We got some beautiful weather over here right now. It's actually in the 60s, so it's going to be like 50 tonight. So this is the Thanksgiving weekend was kind of on the chilly side. Yep. Oh yes, you are always honored and privileged, my friend. So we appreciate everything that Jason Kelly has done for not only myself but for the network when he started announcing for Blockbusters. And don't forget, yes, the legacy must continue. Oh, it will. It will. But one of the things also that I'm going to express here is on Cyber Monday, we're going to be starting season 3 of Blockbusters and season 2 of Joker's Wild, all on Discord. So whoever's in this group here and whoever's watching, if you would like to be a contestant on our great show against some of our champions and you think you've got the knowledge and the wits to defeat them, come on and prove your talent and prove your knowledge and strategy and see what you can do as a contestant on 2 great classic game shows. So that's, a little promotion.
And yep, and I bet you always wanted to host a game show on YouTube, Jason. Before we made the network, I bet you always wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, he says don't forget Card Sharks. Well, yeah, we split up the times on Card Sharks, but that's David's baby. Yep. But you're right. Me and him do announce for Card Sharks. That's right. Yep. But I always wanted to host. I'm sorry.
What was that? What did you say there, Jason?
I said, yeah. He says we both share the microphone on Card Sharks, basically. Yep.
And as for Card Sharks season
2, and folks, he's fading in and out. He may need to reload.
All right. Talk about how I'll ask you this in the private chat. Private chat while I reload.
Okay. Yep. While he's reloading, we'll go ahead and see what the private chat question is. Oh, talk about how the network started. Okay, I can do that. And David will be right back until he gets back on here. He says, I was watching. Oh, okay. I was watching Card Sharks on Game Show Network 2 hours. I don't know how the ABC Joel Card Sharks made it even. Yeah, you're right about that. I heard about that. It got picked up by GSN. It was only on for 2 seasons there, Emo, and yeah, it's a great run. Joel does a great hosting job, but I wish he would have went up there and actually turned the cards himself instead of the dealers, because the other host used to do it too as well. So what gives him the exception to the rule of not being a host that turns the cards? Not sure. And we welcome back David. And he says, maybe I haven't kept up with the Game Show Network. Well, the Game Show Network I'd rather watch Buzzer. Seems like the games on Buzzer are a little bit better than GSN. Jason Kelly says, the game where knowledge is king and Lady Luck will always be queen. Yo, yeah, that's for sure. And he says, and I got the board game version of it too. Yeah, I had that one with the Pat Bullard one when it came out in 2001. But I think it could be used for any Card Sharks version.
And as I was trying to say earlier, Card Sharks season 2 for this network will come next year sometime, whenever next year, 2024. I'm just spraying it out because the goal that me and Jason talked about earlier, don't overwork ourselves. So that is why I'm not doing another season right now.
Yeah, one of the things that we've discussed before we came on the show, we'll let everybody else know this, that we're going to have major meetings coming up next May, actually. Like we did in August, we're going to have 4 weeks of meetings in May before we launch the summer schedule. So you can kind of get an idea that we are now what? We're going into the 4th month of the 7-month fall schedule. And I said it was going to be 7 months, but it's actually more like 9 months because we still have January, February, March, and April. So really, we've got about 8 months, give or take. April, May, 8 or 9 months of this long fall spring schedule. And, me and David are overworked, not getting paid. That's not, and even if we were getting paid, I don't think we would do this for them. We're not doing this for the money. We're not, if it'd be nice if we got monetized, but
not the channel for it.
We're doing this for you guys. We're really, making sure that the shows that were back in the day, some 45, 50 years ago, are preserved in a way that they're not abused and they're not made fun of, and that you can still play them with people who know how to run the machines and run the equipment. And we have to thank Brandon Scruggs and the people at MVG Productions for their fantastic behind the scenes work. Without those guys, without Brandon Scruggs, he is just a fantastic announcer. He's a fantastic behind the scenes judge, and nothing to take it away from Jason Kelly. Jason Kelly is a fantastic announcer, always have been and always will be. Brandon Scruggs is up there, and I would like to see the two of them get together and create a 1-2 punch. That'd be great.
But tell us on how the network started, like what were you saying about?
Well, the network basically started because you had the channel. You've always had the David3000 channel. You've had it now for 4.5 years, right? You've had it since 2019, and I saw your channel. I followed it for a while. I even subscribed way before I even decided to discuss, merging for us between the fans. And last year, I think at this time, we talked about, we talked in privately. We discussed, could there be a way that we could take everybody's shows and put them on David's network? So not only can he have a variety of programs, not just game shows, because he was game show. You were almost like Game Show Central with the way you were putting up, episodes of original and classic game shows in their parody forms and everything, not giving away money or not doing anything of that sort. But you had, by the time I entered the channel, you had 950 subscribers. So you still had a fantastic following before I even came into the picture. And then last year, when we started, it almost took us 5 months or 6 months before we finally hit 1,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there last year. Yeah.
Yeah, because this week or next week will mark the 1-year anniversary of the time that me and David partnered up.
And right now, I have 1,153 subscribers.
Yeah, that's
up
fantastic.
to this point.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Yeah, so it was like 1.15K.
Yeah.
Yep. So I just think it was a great merge, because I have a lot of knowledge and experience in running a YouTube channel. David, of course, takes all the credit for his channel. I don't try to take any discredit him or anything. I'm just here, as VP. If for any reason he goes down or he's sick or anything, I can always take over. But he still makes the final decisions on everything. I will suggest some things for him if he's already got a question. We try to run this network as a well-oiled machine, and we try to get everybody on the same bandwagon. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that would be nice. Oh, yeah. He says, congratulations on that, 3,000. Yep. And he says, just for the fans, for the love of game shows. Love Brandon. He the man. Yep. I don't know if he's talking about Brandon Martin.
Yeah, Brandon Scruggs.
Yeah. Well, we also have Brandon Martin, too, who's a fantastic game show host who hosts the Rant and Rave podcast and Super Password with, So we also have Eric Lima, who hosts Bullseye. Yep. And who else does some hosting out there as well?
I believe. Danny for Funny You Should Ask.
That's right. Danny Lewis does Funny You Should Ask. And we also, Victor was going to do that documentary on the High Low. I hope he gets it worked on soon. I don't know how he's doing on it, but you'll be able to see a new. I guess it's something to do with Card Sharks. I don't know, High Low or something.
No, I don't think so.
Not that, okay, I thought it was. I thought it had something to do with that, with High Low. I'm like, okay. The happy
No,
high and low, you know.
and also Kevin Henry also announces
Kevin
both
Henry,
side.
announces for you on Gambit, right?
Yep, both side
Yeah,
and Wheel of Fortune.
mm-hmm.
And also I think Remart also announces Brennan Martin announces Pressure Luck too. And I'm not sure what else. Oh yeah, he announces Davis Punch a Bunch as well. He also announces that one.
Yep.
Um, and also for Silver Passer, the Tournament of Champions is airing as we speak as of last Wednesday. So, you know, for the holiday season, that's why I decided to put it for this holiday season for the season 2 playoffs, as I like to call it. So the Tournament of Champions is starting up for Silver Passer season 2. So,
Oh, it's that
um,
Kevin Henry who's got for Gold
yeah,
Rush. Yes, it's the
that's
same
the one.
Henry.
Yeah.
Okay, I reached out to him when what had happened with the channel and everything.
Oh yeah.
I reached out to him because
Uh,
one of the things that we do is we look out for each other in this cyber community, and if anybody falters or falls down, we try to help them get back up as mainly as possible. I've sent out an email to him. I sent out a message saying if you need anything, if you need to start putting your shows on our network, please do. I know that the Gold Rush situation is what really kicked him.
yeah.
You know,
Because that was his main. That was his main show.
yeah,
And with this, I won't say the company, but everybody knows the story. You
right,
know.
right, yeah. It was just a sad time in
Yeah.
this situation to have happened right before the holidays. It couldn't have happened at a worse time.
Yeah.
So I was
Unfortunately.
kind of distraught at that, and I don't even watch the Who channel anyways. I don't even watch them, so it didn't matter whether I supported it or not.
Oh yeah.
No,
That
I never liked that
yeah.
channel. Never did. I'd rather watch the History Channel. Because at least I can see things, from a perspective of, and that's what I was trying to do with the Queen's New Yorker, David. If you wanted to know, that's where I had based it off of, was for the History Channel, was to
Okay.
make it the Queen's New Yorker specifically a history show. Because that was the tie-in that everybody could pretty much. I can get that audience. That's the over 35, over 40, over 50. I would say our main age range for our listeners and our viewers is from 40 to 60,
Mhm.
because of the fact that we're honing in for that particular age range. Yes, we've got
Sure.
the 18 to 24 crowd is low, I
Yeah.
must say, and the show is not for anyone under 18. I think it's just it's something that I would rather see a parent explain to their kids what the historic landmark, because we talk in such dialogue that's so not
Yeah.
for a youngster to understand. We don't want to
Sure.
confuse kids. It's nothing dirty on our show or anything. Nothing that they would have to, um, what's the
Sure.
word? You wouldn't have to discretion your kids to watch the program, but they may not understand, or if you're listening to it, they may not understand what we're talking about when we say these things in such a way to
Yeah.
it. So if you kindly do me a favor and you discretion, if you want to listen, have your kids listen, that's totally fine. Have them listen with you and then you explain it. That's fantastic. That would be a great way to kind of get them exposed to what you grew up with as a kid growing up, But I would like to, like I said,
Yeah.
that's why I did the Queen's New Yorker,
Mhm.
because I wanted everybody to have a safe haven, to know that Queens was not a bad neighborhood at any given time back in the days. Queens was one of the safest boroughs you could actually go in and not
Yeah.
worry about crowds, not worry about crime. Yeah, crime was there, but it wasn't like Manhattan or Brooklyn or the Bronx. And I'm not Victor. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that you guys you didn't have your share of crime. You had it, but all five boroughs had a bad experience with crime in some way, shape, or form. I just believe that Queens had a little bit less, but there are some great areas in the Bronx that are actually safe haven areas where
Like Fifth Avenue, I believe.
yeah,
Mhm.
there's whole Italian section in the Bronx that's still close knit, and nothing really dramatically bad happens because they all know each other and their community and they take care of it. And if you do that, you're going to have a successful little neighborhood where you can actually hang your hat at the end of the day and not worry about it.
Have you actually watched any of those New York City like tour videos? Like
Yes, I have. I watched on the History Channel. There's a lot of great programs that deal with Manhattan and deal with Brooklyn and deal with the bridges and the tunnels. A little bit of Queens, not too much. So that's why I decided to go beyond the History Channel and talk about Queens and really expose it for what it is. And you would be surprised to know that. I don't know if our audience knows, but Sesame Street was actually taped in Queens.
I actually know. Well, actually, not.
Okay, so
I didn't know
about, but a lot of people did not know. Yes, it was taped in New York, but the studios that actually taped the show and then were edited was in the Kaufman Astoria Studios, which is now the Museum of the Moving Image.
I knew it was in New York, but I didn't know it was Queens.
Yes, it was Queens for a long time, and before they moved into a new studio, and then they named a street after them. They named there is an actual Sesame Street, which is I think in between Manhattan and Queens, somewhere around that area. Yes, Astoria is right. Jason. Yes, Astoria. There's actually a street in Astoria named after the show. It's Sesame Street. Yep. It's a little area that they've kind of dedicated to the show in honor of their 50th anniversary, of which they're going to be turning 55 years next November 10th.
That's crazy.
Isn't that amazing? And we'll be 60 years in the next 5 years. Crazy how times are going so fast.
Yep. It's crazy how long shows can go for, you know.
It's all depending on the ratings and the support that the show's getting. Now, remember, you also have to recall that Sesame Street has moved to HBO, so it's not like you can just catch it on your public television station like you used to back in the day. And then they cut it down to a half an hour. It's like, really? Well, maybe they figured that the short attention span of the kids of today is why it is that they cut it down to that half hour time slot. But I'm so grateful for the guys who own these YouTube channels that have classic Sesame Street skits that you can go to, full episodes from 1976, even to the first episodes, all the way up to right about the time that they have it. Almost all 45, 50 seasons. Yep.
People still watch those classic Sesame Street episodes.
Yeah, of course. And the kids look at their parents and like, what is this? And then the parents have to explain that this is what they grew up with Sesame Street. This is what Elmo looked like before he got so popularized. You know, Elmo was non-existent until 1983, folks. He didn't come around until the mid-'80s.
Big Bird was the first character.
Who?
Big Bird was the first character before Elmo.
Big Bird and Oscar, and well, it was Kermit and Rolf from the Muppet Show, and Kermit was the one responsible for naming Sesame Street, because Rolf and his writers or the guys like, oh, Kermit, we got to find a name for this show where little kids can go and everything is great and everything. So what do you suggest? Oh, how about Sesame Street? Perfect. Sesame Street, you know? So they came up, I mean, to watch that first show and to see the evolution of how Sesame Street became about, I think everybody needs to watch it, and they have it on YouTube. Just go ahead and type in like the pilot. I think it was the pilot. There was a pilot with the Muppets on there, and they're in the boardroom and they're all discussing, wow, what are we going to name this show? You know, it's for little kids, and we need a show that'll really take it home. You know, so that's something that everybody should be watching to know how this children's program started in '69.
Yep. 1969.
November 10th, 1969. But the pilot was shot probably a week before that. And the first 5 episodes of Sesame Street were actually the most educational episodes ever made for Sesame Street. Those first 5. The first week of Sesame Street. Yep. Look at Like somebody's like sunny days, and he also says, "Love those yip yip Martians." Hey, is that where you get your "come on, baby"? You know, maybe it is. I don't know.
But yeah, very classic there. Um, so what is coming up in 2024 as for this network? You know, what we talked about before we went on the air, and also for what's coming up for your shows.
Well, so let's end the last month of this 2023 season with some very high views on the shows we have right now, and get some more weekend programming. We need some, and I would love. This is just um, my where I'm thinking it's going. I don't know. You have a different thing on it, but I would love to see some of our viewers become actual hosts or to take a show or take it over and do some like Brandon Bogart has done with the Plump Show. He's really taken
Yeah.
it and put it on the network and say, hey, here's an original show that I have thought up in my head, and I have a chance now to put it out there. That's why we have so much more room in the mornings now, since DMS 3000 News Live went to 4 p.m. This time slot's actually works so much better for me, but now it frees up that morning time slot and gives somebody a chance to work a little bit in the mornings.
Also, Alec Pineapple is also now doing the Pineapple Gaming News.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job with that. I saw a couple of his episodes. I thought they were really great. He's got a chance to, and season 2, the Money Vault aired earlier. Do you need, by the way, a new spiel for the Hidden Envelope?
No, but I'm all set with that. Yeah.
Okay. Because I can do an updated one, because it sounds more like cash stream prizes. Like I kind of screwed up on the,
Oh no, it's all good. I'm keeping it the same for season 2, and my plan for next year is basically do a brand new format maybe for season 3, and just basically do it maybe earlier in the year if I ever go on like a big one vacation, then I'll just start airing it that way. But I'll see what I can do for next year. I just need to upgrade my room a little bit more in order to do that, and it just really depends.
Well, you also have to make some new cuts for. You've got the Christmas promos coming up for the David3000 Network. You have to put the Christmas ones in, and then you got to change the copyright to 2024 when we start the new year on the outro. That's got to change too.
Yeah, I gotta work on the intros and credits for that one.
Yep.
And what I'm actually want to do with the hidden envelope next year is try to see if I can actually hang envelopes like on the wall, like with pens or something, or paper clips, whatever it is, and just do it that way. Have but like I said, that'll be next year. If I know if I'm going on a big trip, then I'll do season 3, and still do the usual new seasons in the fall and winter, but just for that brand new format, I want to do it that way. But so what else is coming up there, Jason?
Well, let's see. Brandon says that, and I have the Whammy all new Pressure Luck filming starting January 1st, not with actual contestants. Cool. And it's a kind of what I did on the Whammy Halloween video I did with the mummies, zombies, and skeletons. Very nice. And what do you mean we use your voice too? Yeah, we can always use your voice on anything we need if you need it. Jason is always available to do voiceovers or announcings wherever we need them.
But what else is coming up on your end for your content?
Well, like I said, we have season 3 of Blockbusters coming up starting Monday with season 2 of Joker's Wild. We're going to do 13 seasons. We're going to take Christmas Day and New Year's Day off, so that way we can spend time with our family, and that way we don't have to worry about recording that night, because let's say you went out on Christmas and we can't get everybody back in time for the recordings, so you don't have to worry about that. 2 weeks out of that 13, will still put us in the beginning of March. And then
Mhm.
season 2 of Tic Tac Doe will start around.
You said January, right?
Yeah, around January 8th. Yeah,
Yeah.
the day after New Year's, we'll pick up where we left off with the recordings. So season 2 of Tic Tac Doe starts January 8th,
Hmm.
and that's looking really good too. So I'm excited about that. Plus, Super Passwords probably going to pick up with a season 3. I know Brandon Martin wants to do that, but we don't know when it's going to happen.
Well, probably so. Like I told you before, probably next 2 months, or maybe even by the end of this month. But probably in January we'll start doing season 3 to air in the summertime like usual.
Yeah,
We'll do it that way because it takes a long time to film Super Password. We got to do the Tournament of Champions too for that one.
yeah,
So
that was a long 5 weeks. After the regular season, we had five additional weeks of special TOC programming. So
yep,
that was one of the things. Well, Brandon likes to do that because then it
yep,
kind of gets everybody involved. I'm not a big TOC guy. I like to continue,
mm,
filming on and going on it, but I also take the breaks too. So by the time
yeah,
next year we come around, the Queens New Yorker will be in its 10th season next September. Legacy will be in for the 5th season,
yep,
and yeah, it's and don't forget also too, we have Wipe Those Tears on
yep,
Wednesday nights, and we're going strong. And I'd like some new people out there. Jason Kelly, if you want, come on in and be a panelist for Wipe Those Tears Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern. That would be 7 your time for a
yep,
2-hour show that deals with, right now we're doing with the NES games. But once we finish that, we will be, of course, grading other things as well. So I'm a busy guy too. Tables,
yeah.
ladders, and chairs. That's TLC.
Oh no, not that.
That TLC. Well, they call it tiers,
Yep,
TIERS, not TEARS. There's a
yep,
grading system, as they call it. That's something like you see with the ABCD or the SA, but we use ABCDF. And I've got my regular group of guys with me, or my three stooges, Brandon Bogard, Gianni Pizzi, and Mark Leota. And filling in for Mark Leota or whoever who's never there, Jordy Sco. Yep.
yep. And also for DMS 3000 decide on how that came to be is we needed something for the morning, but y- you know, but then thanks to Eric, with his shows coming in the morning, we decide what everybody's schedule. Um, we'll have to basically move the show to 4 p.m. And as for the format, it's basically like your old Jason DeCanio show, but without music.
Without the music. And it's also like if you watch CBS Sunday Morning with Jane Pauley, or as I used to watch them with the Charles Kuralt or Charles Osgood. I think we've narrowed the program down to 90 minutes because now I can get in the articles a lot faster. But we're
Yep.
still on from 4 to 6 if we still have to have that extra half hour. So what I'm asking now is if anybody would like to be on DMS as a guest for the half hour or an hour and a half or 2 hours, and you would like to be a part of the show, well, drop us a line. We'll be glad to fill you in and have a whole show where you can be the star, and I can be the interviewer and interview you and ask you away on anything. But it's just a matter of the scheduling, the timing, that far out.
Yep.
But we have a lot of open space for that because then we don't have to worry about topics for that day. But
Yeah.
it's nice to have an interview program where everybody can, come on the show and start promoting their channels. Because I think the important thing we all have to agree on, and even William the Conqueror said, speaking of busy, I think we can all agree that we have to be busy as beavers. Yes, that's very true.
Mhm.
But I think in terms of our channels that we are trying to gain subscribers, I think everybody needs to subscribe to everybody else who is a fan of and friend of everybody, regardless of the fact that that we all do different niches at any given time. I think if we all subscribe to everybody's channels within the network and being on Discord, I think we can get everybody into that monetization mode that they've been trying so hard for the longest time to get. So it takes a little bit of a motivational push, but I think it'll work. Hopefully by next year we can get everybody subscribed to everybody else.
Also, I forgot to mention earlier, Scott Michaels helps Eric with both sides, so shout out to him for the both side recordings, and also to Kenneth Washington, who helps me with the Real Fortune recordings as well. So shout out to the both of you, and also Jason is now part of Let's Talk Football with the second season.
Yep, and I was part of the dugout crew for a little while too, and then I kind of left, but came back. I came back on the last show to kind of wrap out the season, and to take us into the next season. But I definitely will be back there. Hopefully, be back there on a regular basis because it'll be a new season, and I got no excuses this time. But the season for baseball, David, and I think you can agree, is the focus is going to be on the Athletics next year because they have the big move to Vegas. So all of the emphasis and all the expectations for that team, it's going to be very high and mighty because they're taking them to a totally different state and a totally different fan base where Vegas anything can pretty much be,
Yeah.
Right.
But they're going to have the same owner, so it won't make any difference.
Right, but that owner's going to expect them because they're getting a brand new stadium built, a brand new fan base because you've got those Vegas Raiders for the football team that when they moved from Oakland, they went to Vegas. So it seems like every time, you live in Oakland or you have a team in Oakland, you pretty much are going to Vegas for some reason or another. So, yeah.
And football is 18 weeks of the program, or 17, 18.
It's 18 baseball. 32 weeks of baseball, yep.
Yep, for baseball. Yep, so it's gonna, and we might have some breaking news here. I may not come back for the dugout crew next year, but like I said, it all depends on what my schedule is like for next year's. But I'll definitely show up in some episodes from time to time, definitely. But I just, with already having a Red Sox supporter, with Eric Lima, don't want to be overloaded with the AL East. So, I mean, American League mostly, but it depends for next year.
Well, it's nice. It's nice to have a lot of people to back us up and help us, substitute in case one of us needs to kind of like take a break or has an emergency or something. It's always nice to have a backup crew to come in and take over the show, so that way the
show. Like with Right and Ray, that's why they've been going on every single week.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice to have somebody come in and like I said, when Brandon Martin had to officially step down from the 3 days when we split it up 2 to 3, I said, okay, I'll take over the permanent hosting of the show, but I'm going to have to do it in the afternoon because then I'll be able to come home at 4, finish my day up at 3 o'clock, get over here, back to the house, set everything up. But I'll have everything set up the night before. I'll have the articles ready to go. I'll have all of the cues ready to go. David will help me with the commercials from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'll make the commercials for Monday and Tuesday, and we'll just kind of like, feed off of each other. And David can even host a DMS 3000 News Live because he's done it already. So has Brandon Bogard. Thank you very much for all you guys' times when, we've asked for people to fill in. But like I said, this is everybody's chances here to try a new show out or try one of the shows that we host and see if you would be comfortable as a fill-in just for that. Yep. And if you got the confidence to go farther beyond the fill-in, hey, we'll train you. We'll give you an audition and see what you can do as far as that's concerned. But again, it's up to you, and you got to feel comfortable with it. We're not pushing anybody, but we like to have some different hosts and have some different people, that would love to not only support the show, but actually work as a part of the team. There's no paid positions here. You won't get a salary, but you will be recognized. And I think, David, what we need to do also, too, is you've had that awards show last year.
Oh, yeah.
What we need to do is we need to go back this year and look at, who's really like the up and comings. I know I'm probably up for an award for like Rookie of the Year. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know how.
I'm not sure if I want to do the award show this year because it's going to take forever to get everything organized, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll talk to you and maybe Ben too, but we'll see. But I have to go for a few minutes. So tell everybody how did you became a game show fan, and if there's time, sports fan too. Okay. How
Oh
about
yeah.
that?
Well, as I became when I was born in '77, I pretty much had my first game show was Card Sharks. So as far as I know, I was able to just enjoy Card Sharks and all of its time. And then as I got older, I was watching more and more game shows, and it just seemed to just stick with me. So I've been a lover of game shows ever since I was in diapers, folks. And I think some of you guys can agree that you were in the same predicament too if you were born in the 70s and 80s. And the love of game shows that we have now for the classics is just still there. It'll always be there. They'll never take it away from us. And being a big sports fan, I followed the Mets, and I still follow the Mets for the longest time. Been a Mets fan since '86. So, that's my baseball team. And being a Brooklyn Nets fan when they were still in New Jersey, been a fan for them for over 30 years. Hockey team, Devils. I mean, I literally lived in Queens. So, I was expected to follow the Knicks. I was expected to follow the Rangers. And so what did I do? I decided to pick the teams from Jersey because I just decided these guys don't get enough exposure. And, you hear from the same people, oh, the Knicks are the greatest team, better than the Nets. The Rangers will always own the Devils. That's not true because why did it take 40 years for the Rangers to win Cup number 1 and it took them 40 years to win Cup number 2 when it only took the Devils? They won it in 95, then they won it in 2000, then they won it in 2003. So how do you figure that as far as statistics wise? Look at the teams. Look at the. Well, sure, the Rangers got lucky back in '94, but then the Devils came back the next year and totally dominated the whole sport. So again, you could be a diehard whatever fan. It's not a matter of that. It's just stick with the team and take the hits, take the responsibility for it, and be a great fan. And I've done that. And there are teams that I also root for. I also root for the Cowboys. I also root for the Jets, and I also root for the Rams. I'm also a Ravens fan on occasion too, because I'm just tired of seeing certain teams, overtake it. And I just decided to choose Baltimore as the Ravens. And now I'm joining the Baltimore Orioles bandwagon because last year they had a fantastic season. And I say that respectively because you got to look at the fact that they actually won the division. The regular players the regular teams that were not in the playoffs, that's including the Boston Red Sox and the Yankees, this last year or this past baseball season, pretty much tells you how the teams really changed. So as far as, rooting for certain teams and staying with certain teams, there are certain things of that matter that I just changed around a little bit. So nothing big, but still we, when you look at back and you say to yourself, man, 30 years, whew, too long. Yep. So let's see. Well, I was born in the late 90s, but in the early 2000s, I started enjoying game shows. And that's a great time, too, because that's when Game Show Network came out in 94. So by the time you hit the early 2000s, that's when GSN and Buzzer were just starting to get hot. So all that collection that you had missed in the original airings there, Emu, basically came back some 10, 15 years later to be put on GSN and, of course, Buzzer. And now you've got Pluto TV, which basically has a lot of the classic stuff as well, too, for free, which you can get on the app as well. So that's about that. And, of course, like I said before, my overall goal is to see everybody just do what they do best, which is if you have a channel out there and you'd like to promote it and like to get the subscribers, you are more than welcome to come on this program and promote. You can also go on DMS 3000 News Live. You can, and if you're from New York, like Victor is from the Bronx, he can come on and do an interview, and we'll call it the Bronx New Yorker, and the Queens man versus the Bronx dude. Face off, and we'd have a grand time talking about two fantastic boroughs. Queens and the Bronx. That's Mets and Yankees. That's the 4 train and the 7 train. You've got Yankee Stadium. You've got Citi Field. You've got two basic boroughs that just hate each other's guts so much, but it's a love-hate thing, more or less. And each of those two boroughs has some fantastic restaurants, has fantastic landmarks, and great historical things for its time. And those are probably two of the oldest boroughs, with, of course, Manhattan being one of them. So, with that in mind, here comes David back in time. All right. Oh.
All right, sorry about that. But anyway, so tell everybody on when to expect a new Queens New Yorker and Legacy of Queens episode to be up on Spotify.
The new episodes that I just have done this past couple of weeks are on Spotify for podcasters. So if you have a Spotify account, or if you have a free account, you can still listen to it. It's there for everybody. Yeah. The episodes for the Queens New Yorker and the Legacy of Queens are on Spotify. The Legacy of New York is on YouTube, with Queens New Yorker archives on YouTube as well. So I have all the links, and if you want any of those links, David can definitely put those links in the descriptions down below. He's got all the links to the new stuff, but all the archives and all of the old stuff will be on YouTube, and that's where I would really hope that everybody starts really subscribing to the channels with the back stuff, because if you haven't had a chance to listen to the first episodes of the Queens New Yorkers, you will see a transition, whole difference, and it'll be good. It'll be really good. It really got some great views and listens at the same time. In fact, right now, the Queens New Yorker for Spotify has right now. I'm gonna get the let me get the statistics here. Let me tell you the statistics. Right now, the Queens New Yorker has 7,135 all-time plays. By that I mean they are audio plays, because Spotify is strictly audio. You will never see my face on Spotify. You'll see slides.
Impossible.
Well, they just don't have. They're just getting into it right now, where you can actually go on there and do video recordings. But when Spotify first came out and Anchor was the merge of the two, you could not do anything but audio recordings. Now you can have a little leeway with your webcam and start doing videos, but I would still put my stuff on audio there because I'm so comfortable with that medium.
Yeah.
Okay. But like I said, 7,135 all-time plays, and that's over 9 seasons from episode 1 to the 241st episode, which we have right now, which is the last of the 2 radio stations we're doing. And so if you want to listen to those, some of them are about a half hour. Some of them are between, the Queens New Yorker show runs between 15 and 30 minutes, depending on it, with the intros and the outros. And the Legacy of Queens, those shows run between 20 and 25 minutes, but they could run even longer depending on how popular the person was. And I've even had to split it up into 2 parts, because sometimes, it's hard to get everything. Not the fact that it's not hard to upload it, but after a while, the attention spans of a lot of people, they get bored after that half hour. So you're really taking a chance putting out 45 minutes of material. But all of the stuff on Spotify is the new stuff, and all of the stuff on YouTube is all the archives, they can hold water. They can hold their own. They might be contested a little bit by the trolls and haters, but still, they can. Everything that was back then may have to be updated a little bit because of census and population, and the numbers might be a little bit go up because of population increases. So I always wanted to do a show on the new season where we talked about the new history of New York, of the borough. And I think I did that. When did I do it? I think when I started the new season of the Queens New Yorker, it was on. Where is it? Was it in September? No. Okay, I have to go back a little bit farther here. Okay, it started with the new season on episode 208 with the history of 1010 wins. Yeah. But I thought I had done a little bit of a series on the history again. But I might have to do another one to just kind of, balance it out to give you the new facts, the new statistics.
Yeah. Sure thing. What is your schedule like for people to when they expect a new episode to air on their
on the legacy of the Queens New Yorker, we're now on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays with the back archive episodes on YouTube. The Legacy of New York will be Saturday and Sunday nights, mostly Sunday nights, but we use Saturdays as like if we need to do a two-parter where we have such a big legacy that we have to cut it into two parts. So you'll usually see part 1 on Saturday, part 2 on Sunday, just so that way, we'll have that whole weekend dedicated to that one person if need be. And then, like I said, Wipe Those Tears is on Wednesdays at 9:00. So I'll be there. And of course, DMS3000 News Live from 4 to 6, Monday through Friday, with recordings of the game shows on Monday nights on Discord. So yeah, I'm all over the place, pretty much 7 days a week, give or take. But I'm always off from my job from DoorDash Monday, Tuesday. So, Monday and Tuesday is a good day.
Made you what made you decide to do DoorDash as your main shop these days?
Well, after working 5.5 years at Universal and got canned in 2021, I still had the part-time job of DoorDashing, and I was doing it, part-time basis when I was still working for Universal. But once I was let go from Universal, I decided to take it on full time, and it's a great job. Sure, the money is fluctuated between $300 and $400 a week, but I get to be my own boss and make my own schedule. And if I screw up, it's my own fault. It's nobody else's. So I'm just tired of taking directions from people who think they know everything. And as I'm getting older, I'm getting weaker, and I don't want to continually do a physically demanding job like, working custodial at a place that's not treating people really good. And, health-wise, scheduling-wise, I can't do overnights no more. I've done it before. I've said I've done it, and I've gotten through it. But at what price what cost of my health do I have to kind of convince people that I have a situation that needs to be taken care of? So starting this Monday, I'm going back on Weight Watchers, as I announced it on DMS3000 News Live this afternoon. So I'm going back on Weight Watchers as of Monday. I know what I got to do, and starting weight was about 330. So I aim to lose 100 pounds, maybe even 150 pounds, to try to get to 180. That's my goal. Can I do it? I would like some fantastic support, and I think I know everybody can be out there giving me some motivation. So, but I'll be giving you the progressional track of whether I gained or lost every week on Mondays, because then I'll weigh myself Monday morning and then give you the totals and everything for that on the program, so you have an idea of what's going on, because you might see some changes in the face. My face might be shrinking. That's usually the first place that it goes. Yep.
maybe. And how was Universal? Like what was your main position over at Universal?
I was a not a janitor, but it was called park services overnights crew member, team
Okay.
member. Okay, I had a schedule from 2 o'clock in the morning to 10:30 in the
Oh
morning.
my.
Yeah, I know. So basically, I was on the overnights. So I would come home around 11:30 and basically have something to eat, and then pass out, take a shower, and then sleep from about 2 o'clock in the afternoon till almost midnight to try to get some sleep. But I did have Thursdays and Fridays off. But then I also had Thursday. But then I cut my hours back to Thursday to 4 days a week, and that was a better schedule than five. So I was working like 32 hours at Universal doing, and then
Yeah.
taking the DoorDash and making the extra 100 and 150 that I needed to make my paycheck even. And that was working out fine too until I got canned in 2021. And then, pretty much now I'm just been a DoorDasher
Yeah.
for over 2.5 years. Love the job, even though it's got its ups and downs and its craziness. And it's not all sunshine and roses, folks. You got to go out there and you got to drive in the heaviest of traffic in the rain and really be, you really have to kind
Yeah.
of, keep your composure. And but it's hard. It really is. It may look easy, but once you get it down to where you take responsibility for what you're doing, it will work for you. It will work for you only if you make it work for you. You have to put in the effort and the time and build up a good reputation with your merchants and your customers, because it is still, you are partly responsible for getting that food to the customer from the merchant. And even though the customer wants to blame the driver and not the merchant, yeah, I've had to deal with idiots of that sort too, and it's a sad thing, especially when it's like the last delivery of the day and you want to go home, and just call it a day. But
Yeah.
because it's a good deal and it needs to be done, So
Yeah, absolutely. Um, but that's gonna be it for this episode of 3000 Heroes. Thanks for doing this, Jason, and we'll definitely
appreciate
have
it.
you on here sometime in the future again. Yep,
Oh
you're
yeah,
welcome.
anytime.
And
Very much. I thank everybody for watching and staying on with
yep,
us here and finding out things. But like I said, I challenge and encourage everybody out there to continue to support the David3000 Network. Have a great night, William. We may see you in another episode of Blockbusters again to take on some great contestants. But I do encourage and I challenge you to not just support the network, but also to go out there and subscribe to the other channels that you like, that are part of our great friendship and the network as well. And so we can be a great community and be able to take care of everybody who needs to be taken care of at any given time.
absolutely. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.
Good night, everybody.
Don't forget to subscribe to the David3000 Network for great more content like this one.